Good afternoon, 7th period. This is my drawing of the Roman bath. This is Caracalla's bath. We will write that over here. He made the largest Roman bath ever. Remember that people went to the bath every day. As the Roman Empire, Caracalla, largest bath. And that's really, we'll put a date on it in class. I don't think we have to say Roman bath. You all know we're studying Rome. Okay, and that would be a lamp right here of olive oil, and this also is a lamp. We can put some flames in here so they know it's a lamp. And I'll finish drawing the legs on that lamp. This is my furniture. I have this, I'm going to move that seat up. It's too low. So here is my chair, and we would recognize that as a chair to this day. The first bath, and remember we want to put a pattern on the baths so that people who do not see well, there are no eyeglasses in ancient Rome, would not accidentally fall into the bath. So you want to give them a warning, and this is a visual warning. And we can use complementary colors on that. And that is not complementary in that your hair looks great that way. It's complementary as to make complete. So if somebody says to you, oh, you spelled that wrong, you can say, no, I didn't. I am not making a comment on that is positive. I'm stating a fact. I had that issue with a principal one time because principals don't know all the things that they think they should know. So I like the idea of complementary colors. So this is yellow. If you have crayons, use crayons. If you have colored pencils, use colored pencils. Some of you got colored pencils from me. Some of you may have to wait and get them from the Santa Claus or somebody, or your grandmother, or whatever. Does it have to be the exact purple I'm using? Oh, heavens no. I don't care. Just purple and yellow, because that's the complementary colors. And you can see that they work well. Don't ever leave any white space when you're doing just a solid color. You want to fill it in so it's really there. So see how nice that looks right there? Then we have our plant here, and we will put patterns on our pot. And they liked to do these like the Greeks, because a lot of what happens with Roman culture is they borrow it from other cultures. So they often get materials from the Egyptians. They get materials from the Greeks. Let me change the base of that so it's a little more even. Oops, sorry about moving the picture. I want to use this one though. And one thing you can do is repeat the colors up here. And maybe we could do this. Hang it on the wall and make it big. And this is a ladle. And so if this had olive oil in it, then they could scoop out their olive oil. Now they won't need that until they go into the caldarium, but maybe they wanted access to it before then. Who knows? Okay. And you can put all sorts of patterns in them. And pattern is predictable. It can be circles or squares. You can alternate circles and squares. Patterns are predictable. Unlike most of life, patterns are predictable. Yeah, I know, that made Tim laugh. Okay, so we're going to put a little peg on the wall so that the ladle can hang from that. And then we go into the caldarium. And if you remember from class, I told you all that they had to wear little sandals that were made out of wood, so they had they weren't like wooden shoes from Holland. They were wooden sandals. So this person has left theirs here. They better move them or somebody will fall. Anyway, here's their little sandals. Do you need 2 pieces of furniture? No, you only need 1. But you do need a sturgill. And remember, the sturgill is a metal piece with a handle. And we'll make ours leather colored. So this is metal, and then maybe there's a pot. We could make just the pot over here that's hanging from the side. It's just overlapping a little bit. And that would have in it the olive oil. And remember that they burned olive oil, they bathed with olive oil, they love their olive oil. And this up here is a fresco. Fresco in Italian means fresh, and it's a painting on wet plaster, and they plastered their walls. And this is a plant coming out of here, and it's getting probably to the point where it has to be repotted. The fact that it's going all the way over here, going after that ladle is what it's doing. Anyway, and this is a niche. That's N-I-C-H-E. Do you have to have that? No, but it would look nice. And this has a piece of pottery in it. They love their pottery, and it would have a rounded background, so I'm going to take that line out. It's not necessary. And you've seen this in maybe churches or fancy houses. They'll have a niche and they'll have something in it. And this is the stone that goes around the arch, because any cutaways that would have to support a great deal of weight would be an arch. If it didn't support a lot of weight, it could be post and lintel, which is what our houses have in it. But remember, they did not have steel or anything that could handle a great deal of weight except for stone if they used an arch. And remember that I did a fountain here in the middle, and I'll have both of these on the website so you can draw this. This is similar to the one we did in class. It's a little fancier. You know your limitations. This is the catch pool. The catch pool is going to be bigger than the bowl at the top for the water, because all it does is catch the water, and the water comes up through a little tube, which was probably made out of lead, just like in the houses. And I told you about lead poisoning, that some of the may have contributed to some of Nero's issues. So here's the fountain spilling over into the catch basin. And then there's a little walkway out here in the garden, and we can make our walkway like this. And they would have been made out of stones, just like the building itself. So we got our stones. We got just a little hint of perspective. When you get into beginning drawing, and then again in 2D design, we will go more into perspective, but not right now. They would have beautiful tile work. I think I did a sun on this one, so I'm going to do a sun here. Notice that it is not round because we are not looking at it from above. We're looking at it slightly at an angle, so we're going to have the rays come out from it. So you can make that if you put that down. This would be a mosaic. It's like your dishes that would shatter if they fell on the floor. Well, that's what they made mosaic out of, little ceramic tiles. I think I'll put a pattern on this too, on our pot. And then we have a table over here with another pot in it. This also could have wine in it. They drank a lot of wine. I think a lot of it was because the water wasn't always clean. You know, in the Bible it said Jesus turned the water into wine, and he did that because water was not clean. So For all those teetotalers out there, there's a reason why that's like that. So here's our other niche, and you can put a pot in here. And since it's only half a pot, you don't have to worry about symmetry or making it the same on both sides. And I think I put an octopus in here, but maybe this time I want to do a fish. During this time period, if you drew a fish in the ground, it meant you were a Christian, so maybe this was a Christian bathroom here. Who knows? You can put some kind of drawing in there. You could put a little landscape with little trees or something, whatever. This is not required, but it would make it more interesting. You can put a pattern on this one. On both sides, the pattern has to be the same. So we only see one side of the tepidarium, but we see both sides of the caldarium. So we're going to repeat that pattern. It's a message to people, not just those who cannot see very well, but for those who maybe had a little too much wine. You don't want them to drown. It looks bad for the bath. Of course, I think they probably had people who walked around and made sure that didn't happen. Remember, they can get their hair done, they work out, they can eat, there's musicians there. Oh, it was their social life. So we could have somebody out here if you want to draw a person. Some of you like to draw people. Not all of you, but some of you. So you could have a person out here in the garden who is just coming inside, and maybe they pick some flowers. Or maybe they didn't, I don't know. They got some flowers in their hands there. So there they are, and they've got some flowers, and they're wearing their toga with what we would think of as almost like a sheet or something, and remember, all the guys had their hair cut really short, and we'll just suggest a face. Put a little face on. And then you can put some bushes behind it, and this was completely isolated from people on the street because there's no, and then behind that might be another entrance over here with another arch, which might be to the area where you work out and stuff. So let's put that there. You don't have to put that in, but because you just need your 3 baths, your tepidarium, your caldarium, your frigidarium, and one piece of furniture, a sturgill. I would put those shoes in there because you don't want them to burn their feet. Remember, there's a fire underneath the caldarium, keeping that warm. And we have this over here. I think it needs another leg here, so it'd be balanced. And I would put a pattern like stripes. It lends the furniture a sense of reality. And these probably were covered with fabric. So there's our chaise lounge, and we can put a little goblet here, like they've just had something to drink. And it would be wine. You don't drink olive oil. You might dip your bread in olive oil. That's very nice. Now, as far as coloring, I would just make, because oddly enough, if you go to buy a gray colored pencil, especially if you buy an expensive one like a Prismacolor, and you can tell what brand they are from this. This is a Prismacolor. These are $1 a piece. So why not just use a regular pencil for the gray? And then to add color, I'm gonna put some green. I'll use this green. Do you have to have a Prismacolor? No, heavens no. But if you're serious about art, you might want to get yourself some Prismacolors. So there is my leaves. And I would use a darker green for the stems. So, do I have a darker green? Yes, I do. So here's, well, that's blue. this is a weird green. Might use this. Okay, yeah, that'll work. And you can put the shading and all sorts of stuff in with that darker green. And color right over the light green, and it just makes it more realistic. So, I know you're wondering, what are you going to do with the water? I would take a sharp colored pencil, so I'm going to sharpen mine. So this is a blue-green, which is really good for water. And then all you have to do is take it. Remember, I told you if you want to press hard, do it sideways and do this. And go sideways. And then if you have another blue, you can also put that on top of there and blend them together. And it begins to look like water. Something else, if you want to add a detail, would be put a robe or a towel on the wall. You could put patterns down here at the bottom of the wall. This is another one where you can be creative. Yes, you have to have certain things. You have to have 3 baths. Do they have to look exactly like this? No. You could make them 3 baths like this, but then you'd have to know perspective. So you need to know perspective before you do anything fancy. We didn't really do perspective. What do I mean by perspective? Exactly what I did here. I'm encouraging you to pretty much stick with this so that it's simple, it's clear, and we'll put a date on this in class. For the columns here, I like a yellow. I don't know. And if you have a crayon, you can use crayon, but I like yellow there. And these are ionic columns. We have to know about columns. I don't think those are exactly in the right place, but I don't care. Do you have to put a column in? No. But it would raise your grade. These are not really supporting anything. They're decorative. The Romans loved those Greek columns, and they put half a column against the wall because a half a column is better than none. They really love their columns. So they put them everywhere, whether they needed them or not. And you can see that just putting a little color like this, and then if I go over it with a brown, and I've got these weird pencils here that I don't remember where I got them, but they're like the part of the pencil that's inside the wood. So if I color this over that, it not only defines my fluting, and this is called fluting, and you will kind of need to know that. We will have a final in January. It won't be as long as I normally make it, but you will have a final. Let's see if I can't put some color into that so I don't lose it in the wall here. So here's my pot for that plant. And I'll put some yellow down here. And I'll press a little harder because it's in shadow. So see? This is probably bronze or something like that. And it would be brown or black even if it's been sitting around and had stuff burned in it. And of course back there would be green. And you can use all the shades of green you can get, or you can mix green and yellow together, which is kind of fun. And if you want to put a little blue in there, blue and yellow make green. I know you learned that in middle school and in elementary school, but you can now use it. So you take the yellow and you go over it, and you get a green.
I'm actually finding that that's not common knowledge.
Yeah, I noticed that isn't common knowledge. Tim's here, my videographer. And when we are physically in the building, I will do more with color mixing. But I'm amazed at how many people don't know that all you need really to paint something, as far as a painting, is red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And you can make just about any color. And brown is made up of all 3 primary colors. And then if you want it to be a cold brown, then you use more blue. And if you want it to be a warm brown, you use more red. And here's our keystone. And if you feel you'll forget that, put it in there, because That is on the final. You need to know the center of the arch is called a keystone. I don't play about the test because I tell you to write this information down. You don't have to cheat. You are cheating by just you don't cheat. I give you the information, you write it down, and when you take your test, you use your notes. And everybody should get a perfect score, and yet they don't, because you don't write stuff down and you don't listen. So it's on you what grade you get, not on me. It's on you. I've been very forgiving about some of the drawings. I kind of went, oh my God. So don't mess yourself up, okay? No messing yourself up. Take your notes. Keep them away from the dog, the little sister, the cousin from Milwaukee who likes to eat paper, whatever. Okay, so this would be your basic drawing. Can you make it simpler than this? Sure. You want an A? You got all of Christmas break to work on this. It isn't due until January. Don't wait till the last minute. I know you guys, you like to wait till the last minute. He's laughing over there. He knows you too.
Well, I'm working with high school students right now. They're doing the same thing where they wait till the last minute.
Yeah, Tim's tutoring his sister and her boyfriend, and he's finding it challenging. And I think, yeah, I know. Okay, here's a good blue. I think it's similar to the one I had, but slightly different, slightly darker. See? So you blend your blues, your purple and yellows. Okay. You now know what a fancy one would look like, and I've got the one on the Sketcher thing that if you've started and it looks like that. But check your rubric. Make sure you have the stuff in the rubric. I don't know what else to say. Finish it over Christmas break or holiday break or, or Hanukkah break if you're Jewish or whatever. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't get sick. Okay, Tim, yeah, we're done with this. And, they can